My name is Lillian Turner, and we're from Martin Elementary FCCLA. We're competing in the junior category.
And I'm Zoe Gunter.
Addiction, lung disease, hospitalization, lung failure, ventilators.
You think this is going to happen to you, but it can.
As of January of this year, there have been 2,602 cases of vape-related illnesses and 57 deaths in the United States. The ages range from 15 to 75 years old. 15 years old. This is unacceptable.
This is why we chose the dangers of vaping as our topic to advocate for. We recently have been hearing more and more deaths related to vaping. In Tennessee, we have 2 reported deaths in connection to vaping. This is becoming an epidemic, and we want to help spread the word to our peers about just how dangerous this is and how not cool it is to be in the hospital, hooked up to tubes and vents to keep you breathing and alive.
We started by doing our research. The facts about vaping are alarming. Vapes are marketed as a healthier alternative to smoking or a way to help you quit smoking. They are not in the least bit healthy, and they are not risk-free. They cause damage to your heart, brain, and lungs. They contain nicotine, which is highly addictive, and some liquids for vape devices are labeled as nicotine-free, but in fact still contain the addictive drug.
It is not just harmless water vapor. The primary ingredient in vape liquid turns into formaldehyde, which is a known cause of cancer when it is heated. And these products are not regulated by the FDA. Some liquids contain other drugs, such as THC, which is found in marijuana or meth. Many of the liquids come in kid-friendly flavors, such as fruit or candy flavors, but the nicotine is still there.
Since we know from data and research that the number of teenagers who vape has doubled since 2019, we knew we had to do our part to help advocate against this terrible epidemic. We set some goals for ourselves. First, we want to educate our peers on how vaping can affect their lives. Next, we want to inform our peers on the dangers and consequences of vaping. And finally, we want them to understand what vaping can do to their bodies.
We surveyed our 7th and 8th graders at a school, and the results showed us that we needed to proceed with the plans and goals. 21% of our peers said they have vaped before, and 47% say they have friends who vape. We want to lower the percentage of students using vapes that attend at our school, and also encourage our peers to try their best to avoid any type of tobacco product while they're still a teenager. Hopefully, our project will still have the same effect on them as it does now when they're adults. We prepared an elevator speech and a leave behind document that are both overviews of what we want to accomplish.
We partnered with the TAD Center in our community. TAD stands for Teens Against Drugs, and they advocate for not using any type of substance such as drugs, alcohol, or tobacco. They come into schools to give presentations, and schools go on trips to the TAD Center as well. We spoke with one of the directors there and gained more knowledge on our topic of interest. We also partnered with 2 individuals in our school that work to help advocate against vaping by teens. Those 2 people are our school nurse, Ms. Shelley, and our school resource officer, Officer Grant. They are both great assets to our school and work hard to keep our kids safe and healthy.
As we said before, we surveyed our 7th and 8th graders, we researched our topic, and we then put together an informative PowerPoint presentation to present to the 7th and 8th grade students. In this PowerPoint, we first talked about the harmful effects of vaping, such as the physical and unhealthy effects. We also discussed the statistics and numbers on the rise of teens that vape. We talked about reasons that kids begin using and ways to stop using tobacco.
We presented to an 8th grade teen living class, and to a 7th grade computer class, and to a 7th grade agriculture class. All the students we talked to seemed to be very interested in our presentation. They were attentive, answered questions, and asked questions as well. Most of the students afterwards told us that our talk with them was motivational and informative.
We then created a no vaping pledge poster to hang in the 7th and 8th grade hallway. We had the students sign this pledge poster, which stated that they were making a promise to themselves to not vape, and then they encouraged others to not vape and support them in quitting. We had a great number of students to sign this pledge poster, and it is now hanging where they can see it and be reminded of the promise every day.
We also made posters with facts about vaping, and we hung those down the 7th and 8th grade hallway. These posters are hopefully a reminder to reinforce the disturbing information that we shared with them during our presentation.
We wanted to get a cause out there, so we used our local media to do this. We posted on our school's Facebook page about our cause, and we got great feedback from stakeholders. We sent an article and a photo to our local newspaper about our efforts at Martin Elementary. This ran in our county newspaper, the Crossville Chronicle, and our project was shared in the school system county newsletter as a student spotlight of the month.
This project would not be possible if it weren't for our involvement in family and consumer sciences. This content area teaches us about living healthy lifestyles, which means taking care of our bodies and not using tobacco, alcohol, or drugs. FCS teaches us about building positive relationships, which means having a good circle of friends who would not negatively peer pressure you into vaping.
Finally, we hope that our efforts to get this cause out there can somehow impact our peers and make them see that it really isn't worth all the negative side effects and consequences of using vapes. In December of 2019, our president signed a new piece of legislation that raises the minimum age to purchase tobacco products to 21 years old. This is a great step in the right direction.
It is our hope that with the changing laws and with all the media coverage about vaping-related deaths, that people will now see just how dangerous this new form of nicotine really is. We are working at our school to do our small part in this very important topic. We want our peers to be educated, know the consequences, and most importantly, we want them to
be tough, don't puff. Thank you.
What is one skill that you learned or improved upon during your project that you will use in school next year or in your future career?
One skill that I learned is to not give in to peer pressure, and that would really help in high school next year.
What obstacles caused challenges in your work, and how did you address them?
Our obstacles were not wanting to be able to present in front of people because we were not really out there. So when we were at the end of our project, we were more comfortable.